All right, welcome everyone. This is the show that shall not be named, where I viciously overwork a drawing, and berate myself for your amusement. Today's prompt is frost. And what better subject matter than the Ice King from Adventure Time for such a prompt? So that's what we decided to do, the royal we. This is the second in a series of 3 drawings where I am trying out brush pens for some nice dark black ink drawing yeah, and the brush pens are working. I'm having mixed results with it. It's not too often where I pick something up and it gives me a lot of trouble. But the brush pens, for some reason, there's just a one-way ticket to the struggle bus for me. But yeah, here I'm just outlining Ice King here, doing his little sausagey fingers. I decided to kind of stylize it and make him a little ragged and evil looking in this one. And then, yeah, here's the brush pen. I'm going to go ahead and start at the bottom here. This is what I like to call secret art because I'm going to spend a bunch of time rendering this lower section, his robe or whatever, and then I'll cover it up later. You will see. I decided to... I wanted it to be really dark, and I should have just started on the body of his robe, mostly black. But I think it's just... I don't have a lot of experience with the brush pen, so it's one of those things that's hard to just lay in a big field of black. Like, it's intimidating, right? Especially when I'm used to cross-hatching. I'm used to, when I render with cross-hatching, I'm like working it, and then I'll, add layers to make it darker. Whereas with the brush pen, it's just solid black immediately, which is what I wanted, but also I don't know. I don't have enough experience, I don't think, to do it confidently. But I will get there. I might just add it to my tools for a while here, even after the 3 drawings are over. Maybe just add something else in addition to that. Because, yeah, I really like the high contrast that just the solid fields of black can give you in a drawing. But, yeah, I just need more practice. Practice. Yeah, so I spent a bunch of time doing that, and then, it was a bunch of time that I didn't necessarily need to spend rendering all that stuff. The arms came out pretty good. I'll do some kind of like long hatching or contour lining, and then Yeah, and then come through and do the sideways contour stuff like I'm doing here on his robe. But I think I was a little more happy with it in the arms. I think something to think about when you're doing these cartoons is just you don't need to be too detailed. I think cartoons were kind of, drawn the way they were to make them fast and easy to draw, and if you go through and render every little shadow on it, kind of defeats the purpose, and it makes it not look like a cartoon anymore, right? If that makes sense. Makes sense to me. Sorry if I don't know that I'm sorry, but if you've noticed that my voiceover has been a little less than lively in the last couple videos, I was feeling a little under the weather. Also, I'm still getting used to doing voiceover, so something that, much like brush pen, does not come very naturally to me, but we'll get there. Practice makes perfect, right? Or I'll just fumble over my words like an idiot for see? But yeah. So anyways, here we go. Throwing some more black in there, going over some of the work I did already. Still wasn't feeling it was dark enough. Now that I'm looking at it, it actually kind of looks okay right there. But I'm not mad that I went over it more later. But yeah, here I am doing some contouring on his nose and then across his face here. This is the point in the drawing where I realized I forgot his eyebrows. But that's okay. We'll just make him look spooky instead of giving him eyebrows. Pretty much his whole head, his face, the crown, and the arms, everything from up above the robe there, I was pretty stoked on. Just that robe was just driving me crazy. I don't know why. It's hard to get out of your, especially when you it's almost, I don't want to call it panicking because I wasn't panicking or anything, but it's it's hard to see things objectively sometimes when you've made a mistake. A lot of times the best thing you can do is just stop, don't keep working it. Set the pen down, go look at a bird or, I don't know, watch a YouTube video for a minute, come back to it later. But, hindsight is 20/20. So here we are. But yeah, I was really happy with the beard. I got lots of nice little details in there, but still kept it, true to the original, I feel. And yeah. He's a spooky Ice King. I talk about Mobius a lot in the videos and Arcrum and all these famous illustrators and stuff, but a lot of the inspiration I get is also from cartoons. I absolutely love cartoons. Studio Ghibli, Adventure Time, Ninja Turtles, tons of different cartoons. Futurama, all that kind of stuff. So I really like the idea of combining like cartooning and when I say cartooning, I mean like comic type of cartooning, you know, like Arcrum type of stuff. But and kind of like what he did actually, where he combines cartooning with like elements of realism and just kind of, I don't know. I kind of like the, you know, detailed cartooning type of stuff, where you're not really trying to achieve realism. You're just trying to get like detailed, like realistic shading over cartoony line work, I guess. Right? Is there a name for that? I have no idea. But yeah, I went around and lined in his little ice spell, and then I'm just coming in behind it and doing this kind of background hatching here. Makes it pop out. And then I'll go through and, you know, accentuate the outlines a little bit later and add some texture into the ice spell itself. But I was really happy with how the ice spells turned out. I like to keep those edges like really jaggedy like that and kind of get that ice crystal sort of look, I guess. They kind of look like a maple leaves almost now that I'm looking at them. But once I add the sort of facety, is that a word? When I add the facets into it later, I think it gets more of an icy look. Yeah, and then so here is where I decided to, I'm adding the ice mountains in behind him, but then yeah, just really what I should have done in the first place. Lay in some heavy blacks, just a little bit of highlighting. And then I decided, yeah, I wanted to change the composition so he was going out of the frame at the bottom there. So I just added a little bit more on. And bam. It could have used some different highlights, I think. But I'm pretty happy with that. Good enough. I mean, keep in mind, I'm doing these drawings once a day right now. They're sketchbook drawings, so I'm not doing a sketch. I just start drawing. So sometimes it's kind of, you know, once you've sunk a certain amount of time into it, it's like, okay, it is what it is, right? But yeah, here I'm going around the outside edges with some thicker lines to kind of make it pop. Make it pop, pop. Like we like to do. Going around his nose and his mouth. Edges of his cloak. I kind of made him look fuzzy, I guess. And then I thought I was done. Got that horizon there. And then, yeah, added the little facets into the frost spell here. Because it was looking a little maple leafy. He's casting the spell of Canada. Turning you all into Canadians. Which, hey, you know, might be all right. Anyways, that about wraps it up. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Thank you to my patrons on Patreon. And I will see you guys in the next one. All right. Bye-bye.